Hey guys, welcome to Flip the Deck Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about your messages, predictions, and advice for the month of February 2022. So this reading is going to give you a general look at what kind of energies are going to be present during the month for you. And then we're going to look into specific areas of your life. So we're going to look into your love life and relationships with those around you. We're also going to look into your relationship with yourself and what your mental state will be like during the month of February. And then we're going to look into money matters for the month of February. So I have 3 readings for you to choose from today. In reading number 1, we have this quartz with green tourmaline inclusions. Reading 2, we have this amethyst point. And in reading 3, we have this smoky quartz cluster. So go ahead and take as much time as you need to select the reading that you feel most drawn to. I'll have your timestamps in the description box down below, and I'm just going to jump in and get started with group 1. Hi, number 1. If you picked the quartz with green tourmaline inclusions, this is going to be your reading for the month of February 2022. So let's jump in and get an idea of what your general energies for the month are going to be. So we have tender embrace and spirit of gratitude. So during the month of February, I think you are going to be feeling a bit more gentle with yourself in general, and also a bit more gentle in just how you see your world and see your circumstances around you. So I think that during this month, you're going to be finding it easier to feel more gratitude about what you have in your life. So I think for a lot of you, you might have been kind of approaching this month, or maybe even approaching this year, feeling a bit overwhelmed about a lot of things in your life, maybe always looking at what needs to be improved and really putting your focus on what needs to change. But I think in this month, you're going to start to notice the things in your life that are going right. And it's going to be easier for you to kind of place your attention on those things about your life that you love. So maybe there's some relationships in your life that are going really well, that are going smoothly, relationships where you feel supported. And you might find during this month that your attention is just naturally gravitating toward those relationships rather than the relationships in your life that feel more strained. So I know that's really common for a lot of us, like we want to improve. We want to look at areas of our lives and try to figure out how we can make it better and how we can put the pieces together to overall make build the puzzle that we're trying to build. Overall get the result that we're trying to get. But a lot of times that can cause us to just really place our attention on negativity in our life. So I think during this month, your outlook is very, very positive. You're like almost searching out things that you can be happy about, things that you can feel excited about. And I think it's going to come pretty naturally to you for the most part. I don't think you're going to have to try that hard. So there might be some blessings that enter your life in February. There might be things that make it really easy for you to look on the bright side during this month. Makes it really easy for you to feel grateful for the things that you have during this month. So you might have important relationships strengthen, or somebody important come into your life during this month and you're feeling a lot of gratitude toward them. You might just feel gratitude toward the work that you do every day. Maybe you're in a position that you absolutely adore and you're feeling like your soul is being really nourished during this time. So I think it's just going to be easier for you to find things to feel positive about. I think you're really learning to focus on what works, and that is that's really going to be important to you, because what's working in your life is what's really feeding your soul. And those are the areas where you're on the right track. So I think it's like your attention is being drawn to all of the places where you are on the right track. And I think you're also kind of learning to trust a little bit more, learning to trust divine timing, learning to accept, and not just accept it, but also feel grateful for where you are in life during this month. So it's so easy to look to the left and look to the right and um, kind of compare ourselves, and that can steal a lot of your joy. What is that saying? Comparison is the thief of joy. So I think that's a really important lesson for you during this month. It might be something that you're already figuring out, because it kind of feels like you're entering February like prepared, ready to go, and ready to be in this more gracious state. So I just think, instead of looking at what other people have and in ways that other people might be achieving and accomplishing during this month, you are really feeling secure in where you are in your life and in the blessings that are in your life currently. With this tender embrace card, I'm also kind of picking up on like a more gentleness that you're feeling for yourself, and that can of course filter out to those people around you. So you might find that you're more connected to the people around you during this month, that you're feeling more tender-hearted toward them, maybe a little bit more understanding. And I think that's because you're being so understanding with yourself. So I think first and foremost, this energy has to do with how you are viewing yourself and how you are treating yourself during this month. And it just feels like you're being a lot more gentle with yourself, that you are kind of like, I don't want to say cutting yourself slack, because I don't get the feeling that you're going to be easy on yourself, or that this isn't going to be a month of achievement for you. I think that is going to be a month of achievement, but I think that you're just not allowing yourself to kind of like go into that self-deprecating mode. Like you're not going to be beating yourself up as much as I'm getting the feeling you have been in the past. Always kind of looking at like where you could do better and noticing all of your faults and flaws. That's something that you're leaving in the past during this month, and you're coming into this really gentle place with yourself. You're being more tender with yourself. You're watching your thoughts, which really plays a lot into gratitude, because you have to be in a more positive place to feel gratitude. Otherwise, it's really difficult to even find one thing that you're grateful for, even though we all know there are plenty of things for us to be grateful for every day. Like just simple things. If you have clean water to drink, you have something to be grateful for. But when you're in a really negative state of mind, it's hard to access that gratitude. So I do think that your thoughts in general feel more uplifted for the month, and it feels like you're being just kind to yourself. It also feels like you're entering a period of ease during this month. Like I was saying, you are going to be achieving, but it doesn't feel like you're achieving through a lot of striving, through a lot of forcing, through a lot of pushing up against something. It feels almost like you've found some flow. And I think that's really coming back to trusting this divine timing. I think you're kind of like falling into your own inner peace, and that's allowing you to trust where you are and trust the plan that's been laid out for you, and really just feel secure. So that's allowing you to find a place of ease and grace during this month. And I think it's just going to bring a lot of calm and maybe even some clarity to you, because finding that ease and not forcing things so much brings a lot of clarity a lot of the time. So yeah, I think that your month so far is looking pretty beautiful. It's looking like a deep breath, if that makes any sense. If a deep breath really had a way to look, I think that's what February looks like for you. A deep, cleansing, rejuvenating breath. And it looks like you are really taking that deep breath and then looking at your surroundings and looking at yourself a lot differently than you have been. So yeah, let's look at some more of your cards. We have progressions and 10th house. So yeah, I think that you're going to be able to make a lot of headway here in the month of February. So the 10th house really talks about our professional life. It can talk about kind of the way that we express ourselves to the world. And it can also discuss journeys like traveling or putting yourself in new scenarios. So I think that you might kind of find the urge to put yourself out there a little bit more. But it's also kind of this feeling of like there's some kind of expression that I think is going to come a lot easier to you in the month of February. So that could be like some sort of artistic expression that just comes easier, comes naturally. You feel like you have time to pursue this and you feel like you want to share. I think also with this progressions card, this card always makes me think about kind of our response to things. So I think that during this month, you're going to be noticing how you respond to certain events in your life. And that is, I'm saying it like this because I do sense a certain gentleness to your approach during this month, and you are so gentle with yourself that I think that what you're doing now is you're observing yourself a little bit more without judgment. So you're observing your reactions to the people in your life or the circumstances in your life, and you're tweaking them a little bit, but in a very non-judgmental way. You're kind of like, you're realizing that you cannot control everything that happens in your life. You cannot control every person in your life and every action that these people take, but you can control how you respond. So I feel like your energy is just really being pulled in and centered during this month. You're more concerned with your inner world. You're more concerned with who you are and how you express yourself to the world and what you choose to put out into the world, and less concerned with what other people are choosing. Also, with this progressions card and this clock imagery in the background here, it's really calling my attention back to that idea of divine timing. So I do think that that is part of why you're finding so much peace during the month of February. It's like you're starting to trust things. You're starting to trust that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, that your journey so far has not been flawed, that you're not behind, that you didn't miss an opportunity. You're trusting that exactly where you're supposed to be and surrounded by exactly who you're surrounded by is what was meant for you. And I think what that's doing is just clearing up a lot of emotional space for you. It's clearing up a lot of mental space for you, and it's probably allowing you to put more attention into the ways that you express yourself out into the world and into the ways that you are offering pieces of yourself into the world. So the 10th house is the house of career. This might be an indication that something that you've been waiting for in terms of career or in terms of your studies is kind of coming towards you in the month of February. You might be waiting to hear from someone about maybe a promotion or a job opportunity, or maybe getting accepted to a certain program. And you might hear news about that in February. There's something here about just really the way you're expressing yourself during this month. And I think there might be a new avenue for you to express yourself during this month. When we look at the 10th house too, we're really looking at authority. So this might be a time that you are challenging certain authority figures in your life. This might even be a time that you're reevaluating some of the people or the institutions that you have allowed to have a certain weight in your life. So maybe these are things, people, situations that you have given power to. And I think during this month, you're calling some of that power back. So this could be parental figures. It could be maybe your boss or somebody that you look up to in the workplace, or that you feel you need to obey in the workplace. This could just be people in your life who you have maybe in the past allowed to control things a little bit. This might go back to this idea of not leaning so much on comparison and really being secure with where you are. Because a lot of times if we're comparing ourselves to other people, we've given them a certain authority in our lives. We've said that their way is the right way and we're trying to live up to that way. And I think in this month, you're calling a lot of that authority back. You're feeling more comfortable being the authority in your own life, and maybe even being the authority and stepping up as sort of a leader figure in other situations. I just think you're kind of like coming into your own here and being more secure with who you are and what you have to offer. So you might find during this month that you're really kind of hitting your stride when it comes to matters at work. or in school, like you feel like you're really getting a grasp on something that you have been working on. So you are starting to view yourself more as an authority. Like you're somebody who could give somebody advice in this field. You are now becoming a person who could kind of lead people and point them in the right direction. You might find yourself giving a lot of advice during the month of February, or maybe you just notice that people are asking you for a lot of advice. So you might be viewed more as an authority on a certain topic during this month. I think that you're really just kind of getting more of a grasp on like where you're going. And the thing is that I feel like this month is going to be something, it's going to be a time of a lot of accomplishment for you, but I see it as something that happens so easily. So you might find yourself at the end of the month looking back and realizing how much you achieved in such a short span. And February is even a shorter month. So you might look back and realize that you have accomplished things that might have been in the works for quite some time, that have taken years to accomplish, and you may breeze through them in February because there's just this this easy feeling about it. It's just like things start to click for you. Something's making more sense to you, and you're able to just kind of glide through in a lot of ways. I think for some of you too, this might be a month. This might be kind of a time for you to have some uncomfortable conversations with people. Maybe some people who you have given too much power or authority. You might find yourself kind of standing up for yourself a little bit more this month, or saying, you know what, you are not, like, you're not in charge of me. You're not in charge of the decisions that I make or what path I take in life. You're taking some of that back, and this really might be a time where you're finding the inner strength to confront people who may have abused their power in a lot of ways. So I don't think that this is going to be a month that is like full of conflict for you, but I do think that some of you may have some conversations, some heart-to-hearts, and really put your feelings out there and take back some of your power during this month. Okay, let's get into a few more of your cards. Let me move this off to the side. Okay, we have Death, and this card says, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. And we also have Success. Okay. So, okay, during this month, this Death card, like, it couldn't be more appropriate here, because what I think is happening for you is there's really like a transformational energy happening during this month, and it feels like this is really a time that you're going to be leaving a lot of your old patterns and old behaviors, maybe even old connections behind. It doesn't feel like anything that that is going to be stressful or strenuous to you, anything that's going to leave you sad or like longing. That's not the feeling I get from this at all. Like I was saying, you're breezing through this month. So I think a lot of this has to do with changes that you're making in yourself, and they may have been a long time coming. And during this month, it just feels like you're able to suddenly transform and kind of implement some of the stuff that you've been working on, and take back some of your power, and look around and see how blessed you really are, and how much you have to be grateful for, pouring into the relationships and the situations and the circumstances that bring you a lot of joy and that feed your soul. I am picking up on that for some of you. You might be keeping a gratitude journal, or you might be just kind of designating some space in a journal that you already write in to jot down a couple of things every day that you feel grateful for. And that is just a beautiful exercise to help pull our attention toward the things that we are loving in life, and maybe, just not pay so much attention to those things that we are not loving so much, because what we focus on expands. And I think you're really seeing that this month. You're seeing that you want to place your focus on the things that you want to expand, and you don't want to keep harboring on the things that are bringing you a lot of negativity. So of course that plays into relationships. This month, you're not going to be feeding any kind of relationships that doesn't feel like an expansion of joy and an expansion of self. You're not going to even feel called to nourish those sorts of relationships this month. So it comes back to that feeling of ease. It doesn't seem to me like it's hard for you to step away from relationships and connections that don't feed your soul. It feels like you're just naturally going to be more drawn to the people who feel tender towards you and who feel comforting and who you feel uplifted when you're around. It's just going to be a natural shift for you. Yeah, so you're not dwelling on anything that you've left behind. And with this success card coming out, it really points to, it's not only that I think these are changes you've been trying to make for a little while, and it's like you're finding success in bringing these changes into your experience during this month, but also I think this is your key to success too. So the thing that may have been holding you back and accomplishing in some areas of your life could be that you may have been too focused on negativity or too invested in relationships that were negatively impacting your life. And once you're able to release that, you're going to just kind of glide through. So this is something that's definitely coming into the picture during the month of February. And yeah, I think success in general, because this is your general overview for the month, success in general is what you can be looking forward to. And that can apply to so many things. But I think what it means is that by the end of the month, when you look back, you're going to be noticing that you accomplished a lot, noticing that you changed a lot, noticing that your personal evolution really it felt like it was catapulted during this month. Yeah. Let's look into more specific areas of your life. That was your general overview. So let's take a look at your love life and your relationships in the month of February. So I have 2 cards for each life category for you. So we have here direction. And for your tarot card, we have justice. So interesting, direction is number 20. So that is a 2, and then justice is number 11, which is also a 2. So 2s talk about a lot of balance. They can talk about partnerships, sometimes even divine partnerships. So February could be a time when you are connecting with somebody, maybe somebody in particular. You might be just coming into partnership with somebody in terms of business, or really leaning on a very close friend. But there is a sense of balance here, especially with the Justice card. So you may be restoring balance to a lot of your relationships. We kind of talked about that with the Authority card. So maybe some of your relationships got out of whack. They got out of balance. You were giving too much power to certain people in your life. And this is the time, February is the month where you're calling some of that back. So you're really restoring balance to a lot of your connections, whether they're romantic or friendships, relationships between family members. You're reevaluating who has control. You're reevaluating who has control over you in your life, and you're noticing and realizing that the person who does have that control is you, and you're taking back a lot of that power. I think that some of your relationships may be headed in a completely new direction, off on a new path during this month. That could be some of these relationships where you are reevaluating who's in control and balancing out the power dynamics in your relationships. So after you do this and you establish a new way to venture forward in this connection, your relationship might take a new path. And I'm feeling like it's all for the better. Like we were talking about, you have success here. So it's like you're going to be successful in whatever kind of endeavor and venture you are looking to pursue in February. So if that's changing the dynamic of a relationship, you're going to find success there. I think you're going to find ease there. I think if it's an uncomfortable conversation, you're going to first of all find the courage to even have the conversation. But I think you're also going to, when it's over, think that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So that's kind of a relief. I think that for a lot of you, you might be kind of weighing the pros and cons of certain relationships in your life. You might really take the time to sit down and look at which relationships are benefiting you, which ones are not, which relationships are feeding you, which relationships are draining you. Because I think in general, you want to restore some kind of balance to your your life and your connection with others in general during this month and going forward. I think it's like it's coming to your attention during February, but it's because you want to implement this going forward. You're not really looking forward to heading into the rest of this year with severely unbalanced relationships where you feel taken advantage of, or where you feel like you're just giving way more than the other person. So you are going to be evaluating some relationships in your life, which could lead to a conversation to kind of fix things, or it could lead to leaving some relationships behind. And I think if there are relationships in your life that you need to be leaving behind during this month, you probably already know exactly who I'm talking about. And the reason I think that is because nothing here makes me think that you're going to be surprised by anything that happens. I think it might have just been kind of a natural progression, you coming to this point where you're willing to have tough conversations, where you're willing to move away from people who are not, who kind of just don't have your best interests at heart. So you would already be aware of which connections these are, and you're probably already making peace with the fact that you're going to be moving away from these people. Like we were talking about with the Death card, you're going to be transforming in a lot of ways, and it doesn't feel like it is a difficult transition for you. It doesn't feel like it is something that feels like it's being ripped away from you. It feels like a very conscious decision and something that you are at peace with. So certain relationships may fall away during this month. Again, with this tender embrace and with the spirit of gratitude, I think that the relationships that you do have in your life, the ones that are important, the ones that are kind and rejuvenating, I think you're going to be feeling a lot more grateful toward them. I think you're going to be expressing a lot more of your love and affection towards those who express love and affection towards you. So it's going to feel very reciprocal this month with the connections that are right. So if you find yourself questioning which connections are right in your life, that's kind of how you're going to be able to tell. Does it feel balanced? Does it feel reciprocal? Do I feel nurtured by this person? And I think you're going to be able to tell that a whole lot easier this month, because you are being so kind and gentle with yourself that when somebody is not treating you the way that you should be treated, it's going to be very apparent to you, because your expectation of how you're supposed to be treated is going to change when you change the way that you are treating yourself. When you're looking at yourself in this tender, loving way, and you're being so gentle and kind to yourself, you're not going to be accepting anything less from the people around you. So it's going to be pretty easy to tell who's in your life for good, who's going to remain after this month, because it's those people that fill you up. So it's going to be pretty clear. Okay, with all that being said, because I do think that your love and relationships portion did have a lot to do with your relationship with yourself, which it usually does. But let's look into your relationship with yourself during the month of February. And for me, this really has a lot to do with your mental state during this month, because what's going on in our head is really, it plays a lot into how we're viewing ourselves and then how we're viewing the world. So let's see what's going on for you during this month. So you have discipline. Oh, okay. And you got a Muse card. So these are like king energy in traditional tarot. So this is the Muse of Emotions. And I love how these cards are turned on their side. So it just is giving me that vibe of like, something's getting shaken up here. Something's changing. There's something different going on for you in this month and the way you're looking at things. A little shakeup of energy. With this discipline card and the Muse of Emotions, it's like, I think there's a certain level of commitment here I'm seeing for you, and it's really a commitment to self. It's a commitment to honor yourself, to honor your emotions, to honor the way you feel about things. You're feeling quite disciplined about that. Like, you may have had your moments before where you have thought that this was an important area of life for you to kind of clean up, but you might be disciplined for a day or two and then kind of fall off. It feels like this is not something you're willing to let go of. So I think this new way of thinking, this gratitude that you're practicing, and also this really kind way that you're viewing yourself, is something that you are committed to. You are going to see this through. Um, you're compassionate towards yourself and you're not willing to let go of it after this month. I kind of love this because, like, with February, a lot of us associate February with the month of love, maybe romantic love, new relationship, or a fun date with the person that you are in partnership with. But I think that what's really beautiful here is there's a lot of self-love going on here for you in February. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to be experiencing any love from a romantic partner, but it just means that you're really loving yourself a whole lot, and I think a whole lot more during this month. So it's really beautiful, and I think as long as you have that kind of love going on inside of yourself, you're carrying that with you through the entire month. You're carrying that with you everywhere you go. It's that's a deeper kind of love that isn't dependent on what anyone outside of you is doing or feeling. So there's more permanence to that. That's a love you can really carry with you, and I kind of I'm loving that for you. I think you're really committed to not being so hard on yourself. You're really committed to nurturing yourself. You're really committed to listening to your gut, listening to your emotions, evaluating how you feel about stuff. And that commitment is even fading into how much courage you have to take on difficult conversations and difficult situations with other people in your life. So I think your mental state is in a good place. I think your mental state is in a very determined place, and it looks like you're going to maintain that focus through the entire month. All right, let's look into your money matters. So this can be just the money that you have in your life. This can refer to your career or like the work that you're doing. It can also refer to schooling or maybe something that you are in school to pursue, a career that you are in school to pursue. So we have Shakti, and we have 9 of emotions. So more cups energy here, more emotional energy, more water. With Shakti, we're always really talking about creativity. There's a feeling of like playfulness and a lot of joy. So that coupled with this 9 of Cups energy, which is really a wish granted type of energy. It's really this success card kind of energy. So I love that all of this is falling together on this side of the reading. It looks like whatever you are pursuing in terms of your financial life or your career, that you're going to be finding a lot of success there. It also really seems to me like there might be a creative venture that you want to pursue during this month. And I think with this, like, really trusting divine timing and really trusting yourself and trusting your emotional capacity. Like, I think you're letting your emotions lead a little bit in the best way. Like you're really letting yourself really feel out what you want to do during the month of February and allowing yourself to pursue that a little bit more. For some of you, this could mean that dream job kind of opportunity is coming to you in February. You might hear back from an employer that you applied with. You might be starting something of your own too, something that's really passion centered and something that I feel like for a lot of you, this might not be something that you have allowed yourself to pursue as of recently. So you might be kind of looking back at something that you actually feel quite grateful to have in your life, noticing the things that bring you a lot of joy in your life and trying to implement them more into your career or into the work that you do, or figuring out a way to make money doing something that you love. For some of you could really just be that you are using the money that you have to pamper yourself a little bit during this month. So you might be going on a trip or buying some new outfits that you feel great in. It's your emotions and your money are closely tied this month, and it feels like in a really beautiful way. Sometimes, like, emotions and money being tied could also mean that something really bad has happened, but we have Shakti energy, we have wish granted energy. So it feels like your money is kind of allowing you to play a little bit this month, or you're bringing more play and more enjoyment into the work that you do. So you may turn a passion project into something that's quite profitable for you. But it really might just be that you're having more fun with your money. So maybe you feel a little bit looser with your money, not in an irresponsible way, but just in a way where you want to indulge a little bit and you want to treat yourself a little bit. You could find that during this month, you're willing to kind of purchase some of those things you may have been putting off, or purchase some of those things that you know aren't completely necessary, but they make you feel great because you are really viewing yourself as somebody who is worth it, and you're looking at all of the things that you have to be grateful for. So you might use your money to kind of come up with a couple more things that you have to be grateful for, making some purchases that will bring a lot of happiness and joy into your life. So that might be what's going on with you in your money life. But either way, I think money looks great for you. You're feeling comfortable, you're feeling confident with your money during the month of February. So let's go ahead and close up this reading with a couple of advice cards. This is pretty open, so this can be just any kind of message that you need to hear, maybe a little bit more advice involving some of these areas of life that we talked about. So you have stress less. I feel like that's just exactly what we've been discussing this entire time. This attitude of gratitude and this being really tender with yourself and trusting in divine timing is allowing you to take a lot of the stress and the force and the strife out of life in general. So you're just going to be feeling a lot more at ease. If you have problems with anxiety, typically you're going to notice the weight of that kind of lifting from you during this month. Just finding more ease in general. You have Look Again. So it's a really interesting card. For some of you, literally, I'm getting the message that there might be something that you've lost or misplaced, and you will have success in finding that thing during the month of February. So if there's something that you just can't figure out where you put it, or this could be less literal, and it can be something that you just feel that you've lost in your life, you're going to be able to find that again in the month of February. Taking my attention back to this gratitude card and this kind of tenderness for self, that could be something that you have felt slipped away from you in the past. And during this month, you're going to find that again. There might be something that you need to look at again through this new perspective. So there may have been an area of your life that you had a certain viewpoint on when you were in your old ways of thinking. And now that you're transitioning into this new way of thinking and this new way of seeing yourself, you might need to approach certain topics over again and now look at them through this new lens, because you'll probably come up with a different answer and you might make a different decision about those circumstances or about that person, looking at it in this new way. And your last card is Connect. So I think for you, this has a lot to do with connecting to yourself, connecting back to yourself, maybe connecting to others, because I think that your connection with other people, it's going to be really strong this month with those that you can truly connect with. So like we were talking about, relationships that aren't satisfying to you, that don't feed you, that aren't reciprocal, are going to fall away. But I think those other relationships that are a bit more solid and that are really nurturing for you, you're going to find a lot more connection with those relationships. I think also with that 10th house energy and the idea of you putting yourself out there a little bit more, you might be forming new business connections or social connections that lead to some kind of business opportunity. So there is kind of a little bit of a push for you to make sure that you are connecting with people during this month. And that is up to you how you do it. This might be connecting on an emotional level. This might be connecting in a business sense, but there is this need for connection. But I think what's really important, especially like if we look at this tender embrace card, this is true connection. Like there's a need for a true connection, deep connection, meaningful connection. So I think that's just another indication and just more confirmation that those situations in your life that are not true and strong and have depth to them, those aren't the ones you're focusing on. You're focusing on the connections where you can really feel like you are establishing a strong bond with the people around you. So I think that's all the messages I have for you, number one, and I will see you in your next reading. I loved hanging out with you. Again, I'm sending you all so much love and light. I just really love doing these readings for you, and I want to thank you for letting me read your cards for the month of February, and it looks beautiful for you, so I'm really excited for this month ahead, and I will see you later. Bye. Hi, number 2. If you picked the Amethyst Point, this is your reading. We're going to be looking at how your month of February is going to go. So let's jump in and get some of your general energies, and then we will look into more specific life areas. We'll look into your love life and your relationships during the month of February. We will also look into your relationship with yourself and your mental state during this month, and then we will look into money matters for the month of February as well. So let's see what general energies are coming your way for the month of February 2022. You have a powerful move. That is number 15. That reduces to a 6. Kind of loving that. There's stability here. So I'm picking up on a sense of something really changing, because there's going to be a move made, but it does feel like with the number 6 that there's a certain amount of stability that's being provided. So it doesn't feel like a move that's going to throw you off balance. And then we have number 1, Earth Magic. Okay. So you are going to be really taking action in February. I think that that's going to be kind of your mantra. That's going to be, I think that's just a word for you to keep in mind for the month of February. It's about movement. It's about taking action. So I think this month you're going to be really finding that you are in your power. You're feeling very courageous. You're feeling extremely brave. This feels like a positive change that you're going to be making. And it feels a lot to me like you're really putting your intention into motion. This could be something that has taken you a really long time to do, something that has taken you a long time to get to this point on. But this is really the time for you to bring whatever you've had on your mind really down to the earth plane and ground it. With this Earth Magic card here, I am really picking up on a powerful, it's like a sense of manifestation, and it is manifestation, but I don't want you to think of it in like a very magical and mystical sense, because I'm really seeing that for you, number 2, you have been putting the wheels in motion for whatever this change is for quite some time. So this is like a seed that you planted, and it's been in that dark place. It's been kind of buried beneath the earth. It's been something that only you know about, something that has not sprouted and been revealed to the rest of the world. And this is the month where that's going to start to change. So of course it varies depending on what your situation is. February may be the month that you decide to finally plant that seed for some of you, and for others of you, February could be the month that that seed finally sprouts and that you see some movement in that area of your life for the very first time. But this feels like something that you've kept really close to your heart, something that's been kind of in that dark hidden place for a long time. It's been lying dormant for a long time, and February is the time to put that in action. So you might be feeling a little bit of an inkling to go ahead and take action towards something, to make a move towards something. And I think the energy is behind you here. There is something here about that being grounded into reality now. It's going beyond just the vision that you had in your mind, and it is coming to the earth plane. It is becoming a solid fact. So it's a lot of mental energy being pulled down and solidifying for you during the month of February. I'm kind of excited for you. I'm feeling almost like a little bit of nervous kind of trepidation from you. So it could be something that you feel a little bit hesitant about. Maybe something you've thought about for so long that you've built it up in your mind, and now you're not really sure if you want to make the move. But I definitely feel like, for the most part, you're feeling very powerful about this. You're feeling almost forceful about it. So for some of you, there could be even a level of frustration when it comes to this thing, like something that has been in the works for so long that you are fed up at this point, and that's what's going to finally push you to make that move. Which, I mean, sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that little bit of frustration, and that little bit of just kind of like throwing it all out there and just forgetting almost to be scared, because I feel like that's what it is for you. It's like this might be something that you've been scared about, but during this month you're totally forgetting about that because you're just really anxious and very motivated for this to happen. So let's look at some more of your cards. We have fourth house. Fourth house talks all about the home, home life, and sanctuary. So, I mean, some of you may be moving during the month of February. With this a powerful move, and then the fourth house, you might be getting a new home. You might be moving to a place really far away, or moving to a place that previously kind of scared you, like making a huge move and a huge change in your life that may have scared you before, but you're finally taking steps to make that happen during the month of February. I am also picking up on that for some of you, if this is a new house or a new location, you're moving to a place where you can feel more in tune and in touch with nature. So you might be moving to a house that has a large garden, or a big yard, or maybe it's on a lot of land, or it's around an area where you can walk. For some of you, it might be something that's closer to the water, or wherever you feel the most connected. It feels like if this is a move in location for you, this is a move in a way that it makes you feel more like grounded, more at home, more in tune with yourself. So this is like a move that you've probably wanted to make for a really long time, because it's like a place that has called to you for a very long time, or you are finally moving into that dream house of yours, maybe a house you've had your eye on for a very long time. Yeah, this is interesting with a lot of this being called back to the home. I am kind of feeling like home is going to be very important to you during the month of February. Your sanctuary, whatever that means to you, wherever your sanctuary is, it's going to be super important to you during this month. Let's get your other card. So we have Mars. Okay, Mars, motion. This is all about action again. It can also be about aggression. For some of you, I was almost picking up on that when I was saying frustration. Mars can be about aggression. So I am not feeling like you're going to be like mad, angry, or like there's going to be a lot of aggressive energy in your life in February, but I am feeling like there is kind of like this push behind you, and you might be pushing yourself a little bit. And for some of you, it really could come from a place of a little bit of frustration, but it's like that good frustration. It's that motivational frustration. It's like that part of you that says, I am not going to keep living this way that I don't want to live. I'm not going to keep putting up with the stuff I don't want to put up with. I'm not going to keep sitting on my dreams instead of living them. I'm not going to keep living in an area that I don't like. I'm going to finally just do it. I'm going to move. I'm going to change something. I'm going to take that step. So there is force behind you during this month. There is power behind you. And I love this Earth Magic card, because it's like that force and that passion, it's not going to just fizzle out. It's not just going to burn out and just run its course. It's actually getting grounded down into something firm and solid. It's getting grounded down into really firm earth energy. So I love that. I am kind of now seeing this Mars card, and especially here with this powerful move, I'm getting the feeling that there's going to be a lot of like an exertion of energy on your part during the month of February, which could lead you to feel exhausted and depleted. And I'm pretty sure that that is why this fourth house energy is being called to our attention here, because your home life and your sanctuary, the place that you rest and recuperate, is going to be very important to you during this month. I think that's what's going to allow you to have so much force and power behind everything that you do, and to maintain that through the month, and to actually bring these things into actual physical existence. So pay attention to your home, pay attention to your sanctuary, pay attention to your private space. And it just really, it's whatever that means to you. So that could be that you have your own space, you have your own apartment, or you have your own house, and you want to just pay attention to making sure that everything there is calm, is soothing, that this is a really comforting place for you, that this is a place where you feel like you can recuperate, like a place where you can really get real rest so that you can go out and kind of face things, have the energy and have the motivation to work on whatever this is that you are really wanting to work on during this month. For others of you, that could be maybe just a space within your house. So maybe it's a room that you use to have some time for yourself. I think that this is really mostly about boundaries and in a lot of ways about defenses. Mars really can talk a lot about defenses too. It can even talk about immune system in terms of defenses. So I'm kind of viewing your home and your sanctuary as a bit of a defense for you during the month of February. It's really a place for you that needs to be sacred during this time that you're expending so much energy, or that you are moving and maybe you're finding yourself in a new environment. So whatever you're calling home base is going to be really important to you to kind of rest and recharge. That's going to be the place where you can get your thoughts in order, where you can really recover. So this is super important. And for a lot of you, that could even be important in terms of feeling physically vital and feeling well. So like I was talking about with Mars relating to the immune system, you know, when we are doing a lot, when we're expending a lot of energy and maybe not getting a lot of rest, we can feel run down or kind of like, you know, catch a little bit of a cold or something. So I'm thinking that it's just, this is not saying that you're going to feel run down. This is actually preventative. Like I'm really glad this is coming out, because it's like a lot of energy that you're going to be exuding this month. You're going to be, there's a lot of outward movement and outward motion here. That would look different for every person, but I just feel like you're really chasing down some kind of dream during this month, and you are at risk of exhausting yourself. So this is really just like a call to rest, because I think you're going to be feeling so much motivation that might not be what you want to do. But yeah, rest when you need to, and really pay attention to your surroundings, and make sure you carve out a space for yourself that is a sanctuary just for you, and have your boundaries in place. So that means people might not always get the response that they want from you. They might not always get a yes. They might not always get an immediate response. You might not be able to do as much for other people because you are really chasing something down here. So make sure your boundaries are firmly in place. And that could be just carving out time for yourself and letting everyone around you know, this is my time. Even if that's just an hour or so, like this is my time to work on this, to pursue this, to rest. It could be, this is my space. So I need everyone to stay out of here. This is my space where I unwind and relax, and you might not want a lot of other people's energy, or a lot of really high frequency energy in that space, because you want to keep it as a really relaxing setting. It can also be about protecting your energy. So it can be, this is my energy, or this is my dream, this is my passion, and this is what I want to pursue. So you're really in that zone this month. You're really laser focused on something that you want to pursue, something you want to spend a lot of energy on, and I can see you going really hard toward this. So yeah, the rest part, it's definitely crucial. The action part is what we want to focus on here, because that is your main message here. You're going to be taking a ton of action in February, and you're going to be making a lot of progress during this time. For some of you, this is really screaming home business to me. So you might be starting something in the home, something that you really want to pursue, that is like a business that you're going to run from your home. Again, with that, boundary is really important, because it's really hard. your relaxation time will start to fade into work time. So you want to establish clear boundaries, maybe have certain times that you work on this project and times that you do not, have a certain place that you work on this project and areas where you dedicate those places to relaxation. Yeah, major action for you in February. Let's look at some more of your cards. We have guilt, and this card says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. And we also have change, which I believe we already discussed at length. February is going to be a huge month of change for you. And even with this guilt card, releasing beliefs that no longer serve you is a huge change that you're making during this month. And I think that that's really what's powering this up. That's what's allowing you to go forward and pursue your dreams and your passions the way that you seem to be doing during this month, because you're realizing that some of the ways that you've held yourself back have been completely mental. It's had to do a lot with the way that you're thinking, and that those ways are not serving your growth. They're not helping you grow. They're not helping you venture into new areas and pursue the dreams that you've known about and that you've held close, like that seed that got planted. It's in the earth and no one else can see it. I think there really is kind of a feeling of you being sick of it, like you being really sick of limiting beliefs that no longer serve, you being really sick of not moving forward in the ways that you want to. And it's like you're finally doing something about it, which I absolutely love. I'm really proud of you. It feels like it wasn't easy to get to this point, but I kind of think that now that you are at this point, it is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say easy. I know you're going to work hard at this, but it's like you've got a lot of force and power behind you when it comes to this. So that's kind of your general overview. That's what's going to be coloring the other areas of life that we're going to look into. But I do think that whatever we see going forward in this reading, there's a lot of power and there's a lot of force and a lot of determination on your part to make this happen, to make everything happen, to make anything you want to have happen, happen. There's a lot of power here. Let's look into your love life and relationships for the month of February. So you have divine love, number 16, and you have the Hermit. Okay, really interesting energy here, Virgo energy. And what's funny about this Hermit card and this home, this idea of home being really important for you during this month, is I do think there might be a little bit of retreat for you during the month of February, or like you're spending a lot of time at home, or you're really valuing your time at home and your time alone to reflect and to replenish. So again, for a lot of you, this could have to do with a home business because you are going to be at home more. You might be at home, like find yourself at home all the time because you're working at home, and of course you're living at home, you sleep at home. So you might find that you have more time at home, but in general, this is a very reflective energy. I love this divine love card because it really speaks to deep connection and really special and powerful connections for you during this month. So on a romantic front, if that is something you're interested in bringing into your life during this month, it feels like your love life will be something very deep and profound, and also something kind of private and something you keep really close to your heart. I think if you are around a lot of people during this month, you're around only certain people. So the reason I say it like that is because I can see you maybe finding this month as a month of retreat, maybe not feeling like socializing a whole lot during the month of February, and keeping to yourself more. And I think that's for a combination of reasons. I think that's because you're really hard at work when it comes to some area of your life, really hard at work there. And also you're really valuing your alone time. You're really valuing spending time by yourself and recovering and recuperating and just finding a lot of joy in that. So you might find that February is not very much of a social month for you. But I think that the people that you do hang around with during this month are people very close to you and people that you have a lot of love and care for. So if this is some romance in your life, either new or existing, I think it's going to be like a lot of cozy nights at home, maybe really just sweet, chill movie nights and things like that, because you're really feeling more pulled in and you're feeling like contemplating a lot. So if you are doing that with a partner, then there's a lot of deep conversations. You know, like I don't think this is a month of really being active and being social for you. I think the energy that you have, you're putting toward achieving goals, and you're putting that energy into people who are super close to you and people that you trust. So yeah, a lot of reflection here and a lot of contemplation, and I think even a lot of connection with the self, which is interesting because in pile one, the same kind of thing happened. There's like a strong message of self-love coming through, and your relationship with self coming through in your love and relationships, which makes sense. But we are also going to look deeper into that relationship that you have with yourself during the month of February. So we're already kind of getting a clue into that just with this Hermit energy. So you might be dealing with a Virgo. You may be a Virgo. During this month, you just have that, you just kind of have that like inner contemplation kind of vibe going on. And a lot of times that results in a lot of solitude. And this is solitude by choice. Yeah, this is you actually enjoying spending time alone or spending time with just one special person and letting it be deep, letting it be reflective, letting that time be really special and meaningful. So let's look into your relationship with self. And for me, this really a lot of times comes down to your mental state during the month of February. So we're going to look at where your mental state is going to be during the month of February. And we have number 29, alignment. So this also adds up to number 11, which I think is really crucial because you had Mars, number 22 here. So you're having a lot of master numbers repeating here. And I think that's just confirmation that you're on the right track about this, that if you do feel like putting a lot of energy into whatever this thing is that you feel really passionate about, you're totally on the right track. And like, it's fine for you to pour a lot into whatever this is during the month of February. Don't feel like you should be devoting time to other things. You're totally fine right where you are. If you have to spend this entire month like moving into your new place or figuring out this new business that you want to do or whatever it might be, working on this relationship and like finally making the changes that need to be made, if you have to spend this entire month doing that, don't view it as a waste, because I think it's really going to put you ahead in the long run. But this is about using the energy where it needs to be used and not worrying so much about using it where it does not need to be used during this month. So we have alignment here, and we have the Page of Voices. So your mental state during the month of February is very clear. I think you're going to find that your thoughts are clear, that figuring out what you want to do, how you want to spend your time, where you want to go, what you want to pursue is just easier for you this month. You're really seeing, you're seeing very clearly. I think it's interesting too with this card. She's putting on these glasses, and it's like, I think that's what it's like for you during this month. You're putting on these glasses that allow you to have so much clarity and allow you to be really aligned with your goals. It's like, it's becoming so clear to you exactly what you want to pursue. And that's what's making it possible for you to make this power move and to have that Mars energy behind you. The only thing that like stalls us is when we don't know which way to go. If we know we're on the right road and we're headed exactly where we're trying to go, well, then we can floor it. You know, we can hit that gas pedal. We are free to go because there are no blocks that are coming in our way. There is no sense of like losing our direction when we're halfway there and trying to figure out where we want to go. So I think a lot of being hesitant is just being taken out of the equation for you. You're not feeling hesitant in the month of February. You're feeling like you want to just power forward, and you are in true alignment here. I think you're very balanced here, very clear thoughts, mental clarity very, very clear for you. I think you're going to be really feeling like you're on your game. So I'm getting a sense that your inner dialogue is going to be shifting more to a place of like, you've got this, you're killing this, you're doing it. I think you're going to be more in that place during this month, because I think you're really going to be killing it. I think it's a very laser focused energy here. Okay, let's look into money for you for the month of February. So with money, that can mean your career, it can mean business opportunities, it can mean your schooling or your studies if you are in an educational program to pursue a certain career. It can also just refer to the money that you have and just your financial situation during the month. So we have number 6, deep knowing. Again, number 6, a lot of stability. So we were talking about that with this a powerful move, reducing down to the number 6. There's a lot of stability here, which I think, again, that lets you just power forward because you're on stable ground here. And then we have the page of emotions. So another page here, it feels like there is a sense of newness to your entire month here. And especially with these pages, so in these two areas, there's like a new attitude or a new approach when it comes to your mental state and your relationship with yourself, and also with your finances. So with this deep knowing card, I'm really feeling like this has to do with what you feel deep in your soul. This has to do with kind of your gut feelings and also your heart clarity. So your money matters during this month. It feels like you might be pursuing something that you've had a feeling about for a long time, kind of a deep knowing. If you look at the imagery on this card, you see how there's like these cutaways where it's almost like you're seeing inside of her. So we're seeing into her heart and we're seeing into her gut here. So like gut feelings and things that we've known, things that have been true, but maybe we didn't pursue. Yeah, I think that's what this Mars energy and this power move kind of energy, what it's speaking to. It's speaking to something that you've had a gut feeling about for a really long time. Again, back to that seed imagery, something that got planted a while ago. And I do feel like the reason I say this is because for me, when this has happened in my life, it's something that has recurred. It's something that I've known about for a long time. I had a feeling, I had an inkling. It can even be something that you've felt since childhood, like something that you want to do or something that you want to pursue, and you always kind of shove it down, always kind of push it away, push it into that dark place, and don't let it grow roots. I think that's changing for you this month. I think those things that are kind of deep within you, with this deep knowing, it's like this, you've known about this, and this is sacral chakra energy here. Right around here, right around in the same area where this card is depicting kind of what I'm going to call a gut feeling. It's like, it's a gut knowing, and it's just something that you've known about for so long. And I think you're finally pursuing that during this month. It's also a really emotional energy coming into your money matters here. So this could be something that you care a lot about, something that you're passionate about, because we are getting that watery energy in the financial realm here. So this could be like switching to a major that really lights you up, or getting a new job that really lights you up, pursuing some kind of business opportunity that really makes you feel alive, and that really kind of almost taps into that inner child type of thing. Because I think this is something you've had on your mind or on your heart for a really long time. And I think it's like there's determination here because there's so much passion here. So it's probably just something you could not let go of, and that might be why it's kind of bursting out of you this month. That's the feeling I get, is like something is bursting out of you in February, something you just can't hold back anymore. You don't want to hold it back anymore. Yeah, you're really feeding your soul and you're trusting your gut feelings when it comes to that. I think a lot of you might be doing a lot of soul searching here. You might really sit down and ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life? What do I truly love? What do I truly enjoy doing? What really lights me up? And that when you ask yourself those questions, the answer is going to be something that you knew it would be all along. Like, I don't think you're coming up with some brand new thing that you've never thought of before. The answer is what you've known all along, but it might just take you actually sitting down and asking yourself that question, getting straight with yourself, getting clear about what you really want to do with your life. And then it's like, there's nothing stopping you after that. So let's wrap up your reading with some advice cards. This is open, so this can just be little bits of advice for you, or it might provide a little more clarity to some of these other issues here. So first you have express yourself. I feel like we were just talking about that. This kind of inner knowing that you have, there's something that is going to be expressed here. It's like that seed finally growing. It's going to be expressed. There's going to be something that is released into the world. And I think that you're finding the courage to do that. And you're finding the passion to do it. Seek stability. Okay. We are like, we keep getting pulled back to that fourth house energy. And kind of almost this hermit energy as well. I think that's just, I mean, we covered it. You have to find that stable place, that place where you feel comfortable and where you feel secure. And it's just as a counterpoint. It's just as something to ground you, because you're going to be expending so much energy and really chasing down your dreams during this month. You just have to find that opposing energy, that really grounding, stable energy. So that can be people. Maybe there is a person in particular that makes you feel very stable, grounded, held, and loved. So you want to pull close to that person during this month so you can just bring that stability into your life. I think for a lot of you, that's your home. Just finding stability there, taking some time for yourself, making sure that you have that time to rest and recharge at home. So that's just going to help you to do all of this. I think you've got big things to do, and you're going to be helped by seeking stability. And then we have divine timing. So yeah, I think a lot of you, you'll feel that way. You'll feel like it's just about time and it's right on time. There is that level of frustration, but I do think that you recognize that, like, you had to go through everything that you went through to reach this point. You had to maybe even reach that level of irritation about this topic before you're able to pursue it with as much vigor as you want to. And that's what's going to make this successful for you. That's what's going to push you to make these changes, because everything is just as it should be. The discussion of divine timing came up with group 1 as well. So everything is as it should be. Everything has played out exactly as it was meant to, and you've found yourself in this exact spot right now for a reason. There might be some beautiful opportunities that are available to you right now that weren't available to you a year ago. So maybe sometimes you feel like, oh, why didn't I make these changes? Why didn't I pursue this and make this move a year ago? Well, maybe it wasn't right a year ago, and now you're in it. Now it's right. Now is the time to move. So I think you're accepting all of that, and you were really moving forward with a lot of determination during the month of February. So that's all the messages I see for you, group 2. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye. Hi, number 3. If you picked the Smoky Quartz, this is going to be your reading all about how February is going to unfold for you. So we are going to jump in and look at the general energies for you during the month of February. We're also going to look into specific life areas. So we're going to look into your love life and your relationships. We're also going to look into your relationship with yourself and your mental state during the month. And then we're going to take a peek into your money matters for the month. So that can be career, finances. It can also be your schooling or studies. So let's go ahead and see what overall energies are at play during the month of February for you. So we have number 9, the Rose's Kiss. That's a really pretty card. And we have number 17, the Storyteller. Okay, So looking at this card, the Rose's Kiss, we're looking at a number 9 here, and 9s always talk about like some form of completion and fulfillment, and they're also an indication that there's more to come. So I'm really picking up on, for you, there's a sense of you really enjoying life in the month of February. There is really just this feeling of you feeling really tapped in, and also reaching a certain level of achievement during this month. And I think for you, this is a lot to do with personal growth. So I think during this month, you're going to be really waking up to your worth. You're really feeling like you are worth it. And also, I think you're looking to have a lot of fun, maybe even experiencing a couple of lucky moments during this month. So I am being pulled to this this rose, on like how beautiful this flower is. I am picking up on that for some of you, this is a very romantic month for you, and a month where you're feeling really lucky. The ladybug on here is really a symbol of luck. And I think that this is a matter of you just kind of looking up one day and realizing, like, whoa, like something has changed in such a way where you are feeling very lucky. This quill in the storyteller card too is kind of making me think of a feather, and that can be another sign, like finding a beautiful feather. Something can be a sign of luck or of being on the right track. This is really a feeling of not accepting crumbs. So I think that's going to be a huge part of your month, is really just knowing your worth during this month and not accepting the little bits and pieces that some people in your life may have wanted to give you. You are viewing yourself in a completely different way. And I think this has a lot to do with where you've come from and your story so far, but it's making you view yourself in a way where you're valuing yourself more than you have ever before. And that's playing a lot into how you're relating to other people. This is a month for you to indulge in every way you can think of. I think you're really almost looking for that too. So it's just perfect timing, because I think everything's really aligned for you to really treat yourself to some beautiful things here. And that can mean different things to different people. So this might be like enjoying good food, spending time with your friends, having a lot of fun with your friends, fun activities, going on little trips, maybe even a big vacation. You're really going to take time this month to do the things that you love to do. You're remembering some of the things that you love to do. You're even remembering some of the people you love to spend time with, and maybe spending time with those people. You are looking to experience pleasure during this month. So whatever that means to you, this is going to be a month full of pleasure. And I think there might even be some surprises around the corner. So some of this pleasure is the kind of stuff you're going to create for yourself. And some of it is maybe a bit of a surprise, maybe some pleasure or some kind of fun, exciting experience that someone else puts into motion for you. If you are in a relationship, I think that there's going to be a lot of shows of affection and maybe little special things that your partner kind of plans for you. You could be doing this as well for somebody that you care about, but I am feeling like this is a month for you to receive. So there might be a lot for you to experience and to receive. Somebody wants to give to you. This also might be a time that you're starting something new. And the person might give to you. I am seeing some of you receiving flowers from somebody that is really interested in you. I am not saying that you're going to want to settle down with this person necessarily. So that's totally up to you. But because I'm getting this indulgent sense, this kind of, it's like an experimental sense during this month. Something feels really free. It feels like you just want to have fun. So it might be that you're kind of talking to a lot of different people, or you're talking to a couple of people that you're interested in, or you're just letting it flow however it goes. And it feels like you're willing to accept a lot of love and attention and affection, and maybe even some gifts from people. It really has an extravagant feel and a fun feel for you this month. I think that you're going to kind of indulge a bit. You're going to maybe get some new outfits, or you're going to pay more attention to the things that you put on, and maybe you're wearing those outfits that make you feel your best, make you feel hot, make you know that you're going to get attention when you go out. It's just, you're really feeling yourself in February. That's what it is. It's not even about the experiences. It's really about your connection with yourself, and that you are feeling yourself so much. So for a lot of you, it really could be that you are reviewing some journal entries this month. I am picking up on that for a lot of you. You might look through old journals and kind of figure out some of the things that used to excite you, that used to light you up. You might even figure out some of the people that you used to like to hang around with through looking through these old entries. And also, I am seeing also for some of you, some of these journal entries, it might be that you are seeing old artwork, old doodles or sketches that you've done in journals, and you're just kind of reliving some of that, and reviewing some of the things that really lit you up. And it feels a lot like, I think that for you this month, because you are valuing yourself so much more, I'm getting the feeling that anyone who does not see your worth, who does not see your value, is getting cut this month. And I say it like that because it does actually feel like it's a brutal and abrupt cut off. So I'm not even going to tell you like this feels to you like things where you want to have conversations with people, maybe work it out. It's really not that kind of energy. With this rose, there's a lot of beauty here. So I think this is kind of like representing you. There's a lot of beauty here, but there's also this part of you that's saying like, yeah, I'm beautiful and I look approachable, but don't try me. Do not try me, or you're getting the thorn. There's just kind of like that energy. So anybody who is not valuing you this month, I think, is out. And I think it's just all for the best. I don't even think you're going to be looking back. I think you're going to be really paying attention to all the things that make you feel great, make you feel lovely, make you feel wonderful. People who make you feel appreciated, and the ones who don't, they're out. They get the thorn. Yeah, there's a certain decisiveness to that decision coming through for you in the month of February. So let's look at some more of your cards. You have retrograde. Okay. And you have Pisces, sensitized. So this is, again, kind of like I was talking about. You might be going through some old journal entries or revisiting things that really lit you up, or people that really lit you up. So retrograde is really a time to review, time to look back. It's a time to maybe heal some past wounds. I think you are doing a bit of revisiting, maybe even reconnection. I think you are shaking things up a little bit with this energy of wanting to experience a lot of beauty in your life and experience a lot of fun and like invigorating experiences. So I think also you're kind of changing course a little bit. Retrogrades, it's about something changing its typical path. So I think there is an element of you shaking things up a little bit more than usual during this month. And that really does play into that indulgent energy. So maybe you want to indulge a little bit. You want to break from the typical schedule and go do something new and try something fun. You know, there is that energy here. I think also you're going to be reevaluating relationships left and right. And like I was talking about, some people are going to get the rose, some people are going to get the thorn. And I think that's just because there's a lot of time for you to reflect here. And in that reflection, you're going to really see who's for you and who's not. You're going to see who wants to bring beauty into your life and who doesn't, and who appreciates you and who doesn't. And Yeah, I do. I think a lot of that review and even some of that, like I was getting that for a lot of you, you might be looking through old journal entries, or that could be old pictures, or just something that triggers memories for you. And maybe when those memories are triggered, you kind of see more clearly who's been there for you and who hasn't. Or in remembering how you felt at certain times, you might think, you know what, this person has always been against me. This person has always been a negative influence in my life, and I'm triggered now by this picture or by this entry to remember that. And that person is going to be cut out from your life. I think you're going to be removing people who just are not supportive during this time. This Pisces energy, this sensitized energy, you are coming into a more sensitive place with your emotions. You are coming into a place where you have a lot of compassion, but you also, that compassion is really extending to yourself in a new way. And in having that compassion, it does make you really reevaluate the relationships in your life. Because if there are people around you that are not being compassionate, that are not showing you the same compassion that you've shown them, they are not going to be at play anymore. There's an attitude coming through. This did not show up in the other readings. There's a sassiness. You're sassy this month. You're very, very sassy. It's like nobody better mess with you this month. And it's not even coming from a place of looking for trouble, but if you find it, I just get the feeling you're not putting up with it this month. And this is really a time for you to bloom. It's a time for you to grow. You see all of this, like this rose here, and then there's all of this flowery imagery here in this Pisces card. This is a time for you to bloom and grow. And it's like anybody who is a hindrance to that, anyone who's trying to like spray poison on your beautiful flowers and make them shrivel up, you are getting them out of the way this month. And it just feels like you just have the confidence to do it. So let's keep going. Let's look more into this. We have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. That is that sassiness. It's a little bit more than just self-esteem, but yeah, that's kind of, you're believing in yourself in a whole new way. And there's a certain like pow that comes with that. And it might sting sometimes to the people around you, but you're not dishing out the pow unless it's well-deserved. So it's just, this is a matter of just like, you want to have fun, you want to experience, you want to indulge. And for those that want to be around you and want to kind of have that same vibe and that same energy, you're here for it. And for those that don't want to act right, they're just not going to be a part of your month. They might not even be a part of your life, but they definitely aren't going to be bringing you down. There's a sense of like nobody's raining on your parade this month, even though I think you're cleaning some stuff up with this retrograde energy. You might be cleaning some stuff up, but I don't think you're allowing it to get you down. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. We have healing chaos here. So yeah, you're cleaning some stuff up in your life. There is definitely a chaotic situation playing out in this card. There's a tornado, but there's also all these little butterflies all around. So really a sense of metamorphosis, a sense of transformation here. You're kind of like turning into a new person in a lot of ways. I think just coming into your own, and you're seeing beauty in every situation. Even in this chaotic environment here, there's beautiful, vibrantly colored butterflies, and you're seeing all of that in your life here, because you're more concerned with seeing the beauty. You're more concerned with seeing the bright side and with enjoying. I think any person who tends to be really negative and just is like a total downer is not going to resonate with you this month, because like your energy is on a whole different level. It's on a really high vibrational level. You're looking for things to work out for you this month. You're in a really positive state of mind this month. And I'm actually really happy for you, because with this like retrogrades can really do a number on us sometimes. They can really throw us into a place of so much reflection or so much irritation at having to go back through something. I think you are going back through something, but I don't get a feeling of irritation. I get a feeling of you're going back through to really clean some stuff up. And it's like you're getting enjoyment from doing it. You're getting enjoyment from letting go of things that are not serving you and just letting everything be really beautiful. I do kind of want to talk about these two cards here, because in this case, we might be able to get some kind of idea about timing. As far as retrograde, Mercury is going to be in retrograde in February. I think it goes into retrograde like mid-January, I think the 14th, and then it's in retrograde until February 3rd. So that could be an indication of important timing for you, and that's the very beginning of the month. So those days, the first, the second, the third, somewhere in there, or maybe just the first week of February is going to be really important for you. That might be a time that you're doing a lot of this reviewing, or where you're reconnecting with somebody from your past. Yeah, so my attention's being drawn to that. And then we have Pisces, so the moon will be in Pisces February 2nd through the 4th. So again, first week of the month, I think is really important. And I'm not saying that everything is going to happen for you during that first week. If you end up finding this video and that first week has already passed, I don't think that that means that you kind of like missed your opportunity. I think you would have already gone through a lot of this review and healing. So that first week could just be really crucial to you, because you're changing the way you're looking at things during that first week of February. You are maybe reconnecting with somebody during that first week, or starting to think about it. I think you're putting things into perspective in the very beginning of the month, which I love, because that means that you're going to be able to carry this energy through the rest of the month, because you're going to have it well established right in those first couple of days of the month. But you're definitely becoming more sensitive to some things, and I think you're becoming more sensitive to yourself. What I love about increased sensitivity, I think a lot of times people can dwell on the negative aspects of increased sensitivity. So it can heighten your psychic abilities. That can be a good thing to some people. That can be a bad thing to some people. But really what this means is your ability to enjoy things is also going to be heightened with this increased sensitivity. So you're going to be maybe a little bit more emotional, maybe a little bit more vulnerable. That also gives you the ability to connect to people in a deeper way, because you are more in touch with your emotions. But when we're talking about you indulging and experiencing things this month, you're going to be more sensitive to all of the sensations that gives you. So if you're eating really good food that you love, you're going to love it even more. Like all of that's going to be heightened. If you're around somebody that really lights you up and makes you feel fabulous, you're going to feel just that much better, because you're very open and you're very sensitive to what's going on around you. Again, really heightened abilities here. So you might be more tapped in and tuned into people around you during this month, which is not a bad thing, especially if this is a month where a romance starts to bloom for you, as it looks like it might with this rose card. You're going to be really tapped in, really in tune with this person during the month of February. So I love all that. Let's look at your love and relationships portion of the reading. So you have clarity, number 18. So that's another 9. Yeah, 9 is something that's kind of important here for you, the number 9. There's a lot of reflection going on here, but there is a sense of completion. So I think that this reflection that you're going through is going to bring you a sense of completion and a sense of finality. In some ways, that might be that a relationship comes to an end, one that doesn't serve you, and it opens up a new opportunity for something better to come into your life. But there is kind of the feeling of you reviewing things during the month of February, and potentially closing some things up, and not necessarily in a bad way. Some things might be closed up as in terms of ending. Some things might be closed up in terms of like connections that need to come back into your life, and you kind of close the book on the separation, or you close the book on not being in communication with somebody. Because I think there is a sense of really reviewing and of people coming back into your life that may have slipped away. with this card, we also have the Page of Inspiration. So that's Page of Wands energy. This is something that you feel, oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Page of Wands. This is something you feel really passionate about. So you're gaining clarity about the things that you feel really passionate towards. I feel like we talked about that before a little bit, because we were talking about you kind of reviewing the things that you find a lot of joy in, the things that bring you a lot of joy and excitement. So you're revisiting some of that stuff, and there is kind of a newness here, like you're going to start on a new journey when it comes to things that bring you a lot of passion. So in this case, in love and relationships, this can be people who bring you a lot of passion, people that you love a lot. You're gaining clarity about these relationships, how you feel about these people, maybe even how those people feel about you. If this is somebody coming back into your life that slipped away at some point, they might make contact with you and let you know how they feel about you. So you're going to have a lot more knowledge about that and be able to proceed knowing how this person feels. And it feels like something passionate and new is coming into your life. I keep getting drawn back to that Rose card because I just see that there's going to be some kind of romantic gesture towards you during this month. Yeah, there's some kind of passion here for a lot of you. So don't be surprised if you get flowers. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day for you to get flowers. So that could be any time during the month. But don't be surprised if somebody wants to give something to you or create a great experience for you. Overall, I do think you're going to be a lot more clear about the relationships in your life. And that can be outside of romantic relationships too. This can be friends and family. You're going to be really clear about who's there for you and who's not, and who's staying and who's going. And it's like I was talking about with the thorn, like who gets the rose and who gets the thorn. You are going to have absolute clarity about that. That it's really interesting. Really interesting energy, because I'm really seeing you as being like kind of cutthroat, but in a sweetheart way. Like, I know you're a sweetheart, but I think some of this is just a long time coming. Yeah, some of these people that didn't really treat you the best, they deserve the thorny parts, and you probably should have given that before, but you just weren't in a place. I think you're developing a lot of confidence now, and you just know who should be there and who shouldn't. So yeah. You might have some new friends coming into your life too, which, you know, if a lot of people kind of got the axe, like this is a great time for you to meet new people and meet people that you are aligned with, and people who share the same passions as you and want to have fun and want to experience things. So now let's look into your relationship with yourself, and also your mental state during the month of February. So we have empathy, and this reduces to a number 5. So maybe something's changing there in terms of empathy. Maybe you didn't have a lot of empathy for yourself before this month, but that might be a change for you. And then we have the 4 of Voices. So this is 4 of Swords energy, a very restful relaxation kind of vibe coming from there. I think that there is kind of this indulgent feeling this month, this desire and this pull towards pampering yourself and recovering. And I'm really taking it more that way for you, because it's like spa day relaxation. This isn't like I'm so exhausted, I just don't feel well and I have to collapse type of relaxation. This is like you're going to treat yourself to something indulgent. And for some of you, it might be a massage, or maybe an at-home spa treatment. Maybe you're just doing like little face masks, maybe with your friends, you know, with those ones that like to indulge and like to treat themselves the way that you're going to be feeling like. So I just think this is a time for you to just really care for yourself and really do some healing and make sure that everything around you is beautiful, and that extends to relationships. I think your mental state is in a nice spot here. It's in a place of self-care and of self-love, and treating yourself to some things that you may have previously denied yourself. You're feeding your soul this month. You're making time just to love yourself and to kind of pamper yourself a little bit. Yeah, so that's actually a really, really beautiful energy. I think this month is just going to be beautiful for you, and it doesn't feel like it feels like it might be kind of chill. Like there might be an element of chill. There might be, maybe you have been really just like working yourself really hard these months leading up to February. And this is a time where you feel like I am going to treat myself to some real relaxation here. It might be a weekend that you take where you just really indulge, you really unplug, and you just let yourself have some really good rejuvenative type of time. That might be what it is. Let's go ahead and look at your money. So again, money can be your career and finances. It can be your school and studies. It can be a business opportunity. It can be just what your bank account is looking like during this month. So let's see. We have momentum. That's great. Like that's what you want to hear. Then that's a number 24. That reduces to a 6. So there's stability in that. And we also have the 6 of inspiration. So another 6. Yeah, we are dealing with expansion here. We're dealing with something really stable. So I think your finances are expanding in the month of February. That can mean that you are going to be making more money. You're going to be maybe getting a promotion, getting a raise. If you're up for some sort of evaluation or something at work, I think you can expect it to come back as good news and maybe what allows you to get a promotion. There is a sense of you getting some sort of recognition here, public recognition, and really kind of just like killing it. Also with this, I think that a lot of this has to do with you kind of tapping into your worth. So we talked about that right from the beginning of the reading, you kind of realizing that you're worth it. I think for some of you, this can have to do with a creative endeavor. This could have to do with maybe like, maybe you're an artist of some kind, or you offer some kind of service and you have been struggling with the idea of raising your prices. I think during this month, you're going to start to feel more comfortable with the idea of charging more for your, like your work or your offerings, whatever that is. I think you're just gaining more confidence in what you have to offer with the self-esteem card, realizing that, you know, it says, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So you're realizing really how much you can benefit people with whatever it is you have to offer, and you're not being shy about charging the appropriate amount. So that might be where this momentum is coming from. You might see an uptick in your financial situation because you're able to bring in more money. Maybe you're able to start charging for something that you never previously charged for because you just gave it away, and maybe now you want to use that as a source of income. But there is a sense of you being recognized and kind of publicly acknowledged for something that you're doing. So if this isn't about your finances, maybe you're just finally getting recognition for some work that you have done. Maybe you are getting called out in a good way at work, getting called out as being a top performer or being a vital asset to the company. But there is a sense, and maybe this, for a long time, you were not receiving that recognition. You're going to be recognized finally. I feel like for some of you, maybe those around you have been taking credit for some of the work that you've been doing. And now this is the time for you to finally be recognized for the amount of effort that you put in. I do want to tell you that with the 6 of inspiration comes jealousy sometimes, and it comes it can be a lot about people who underestimated you. So I do get a feeling that you may have had people in your life who have underestimated you, who have thought that you didn't deserve the recognition or that your struggles weren't valid enough to like to see how much you've overcome or how much you do deserve this energy of rejuvenation and this energy of pampering yourself this month. But these are the people who are getting cut out during the month of February. I just want you to keep that in mind, that their opinions about you and what you deserve have literally nothing to do with the truth of the situation and of what you know to be true. So if you do have people in your life hater type energy, naysaying type energy, people who are always trying to bring you down, people who don't want you to succeed, who aren't happy for you when you reach these milestones, who don't think that you've ever even had to suffer through anything, therefore you don't deserve to take time for yourself or to indulge in any way. Those are the people who you are moving away from this month. So just be aware of that. I think there is a certain level of acknowledgement that you're going to receive, and the people who aren't happy for you when you get to that point, those are the people who need to go. And it could be that you're just starting something new as well. I'm getting that for some of you. Like, you might be starting an online venture or something like that, and maybe you hit a certain milestone with that. Maybe you have like an Instagram or some kind of social media, and you hit a milestone, you reach a certain number of followers, or you get a comment that really excites you and you really think you're going to have success with this. You really start to see the momentum there, and then you have somebody like discouraging you. Those are the people that you don't want in your life. And I think it'll just become clear to you. The more you succeed, the more you accomplish, you're going to be made aware of that. So let's wrap up your reading with some advice cards. I have 4 cards for you. The other groups had 3, but you wanted an extra card. So we'll see what advice we have for you. So we have Blossom. What a perfect card, given this. We kept talking about the rose and all of the flowers that were on this Pisces card here. This is a time for you to blossom. This is a time you are really coming into your own. That's why you're going to be getting this recognition, why you're going to be seeing momentum. Something's really kicking off for you. I think it really all just starts inside of yourself, with you just recognizing how much you're worth and how much you just want to enjoy life. So yeah, definitely something blooming and blossoming for you. Intuition. I think, yeah, weren't we talking about that kind of like with the Pisces card, the sensitize? You're going to be more sensitive. You might be more intuitive. It's all wonderful. It's all beautiful. Don't be discouraged by that if you feel yourself more sensitized. That really is you tapping into your intuition and knowing exactly what's right for you and knowing that you're on the right path. We also have step through the door. Yeah. You guys are making big moves in February, and it feels like you're just doing it in this really beautiful, effortless kind of way. And it might be that it's just like a culmination of all the things that have been kind of in the works for a few months, but you're really like, you're stepping into that next level. Yeah, I think that's probably what's causing some of the people in your life to want to kind of pull you back, because you're stepping into a level beyond them. You're stepping through a door that they might not even know is there yet. So you might have a little bit of pullback. I see you having beautiful people in your life though, so you're just going to spend more time around those people. Even if these are people that have been missing from your life and from your circle for a little while, I think you're going to be finding your way back to them this month. And hard work. Yeah, all of this is hard work, but I think again with this 6 of Wands energy here, a lot of your hard work is paying off here. And I think that's why this is a time for you to be able to relax a little bit more, because you've put in a lot of work, and you're going to do a lot of work here too, with a lot of healing and maybe even readjusting some things in your life. But a lot of your hard work is paying off now, and you're starting to gain the confidence that you really need to have. So I think that's all the messages I have for you, Group 3. I really enjoyed doing your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye.